of shame. This is to help you understand where if you are battling with shame, you can go through and say, yeah, Mom and Dad made me ashamed. Okay, Lord, I just forgive them, I release them, I set them free, I ask you to bless them. It's as easy as that. So that's parents, and there's a whole lot. I mean, here's one for you, okay? This sows fear and shame. Wait till your father gets home. Never, ever, 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 ever have I ever met anybody who said that was a constructive comment rather than destructive. Sows fear, sows terror. You hear the key in the latch, the door opening. Well, you don't have stairs in apartments, do you? Along the floor. Your bedroom door opens. I mean, come on, guys. You know? It just lays shame. It sows fear. And if you want the worst, and I mean the worst curse of all ever to be spoken, it is shame on you. That is the worst curse. Because you're sowing something into somebody's life forever, ever, that they will live in a place of perpetual shame. That's why some Christians are just trapped and they can't get free. Because somebody has said, curse them with that. We need to break it, and we'll break it at the end in prayer that we do it. I mean, there's just loads, but I'm going to come back to this one again. On your list, you see teachers and education. This switch from a non-performance home environment to a performance and comparison environment in school can introduce shame to a child faster than anything. Parents need to be very, very careful at that particular time when they transition from home to kindergarten, home to grade 1, home into a school environment, that the affirmation and praise that the child receives at home outweighs anything that may be sown in school. Most children I know, including me, knew that we were not the brightest or the best within weeks of being at school. And most of us live out of that place, or we go downhill from it for the rest of our education. What else have we got? Methods of shame, they're also in your notes. But I want to focus on some common characteristics to help you live free from shame. Okay? This is almost the stop it section. Stop it. Don't do it. Number 1, the comparison with others and constantly falling short. Of course, I'm talking about in church now. I'm just not as talented as them. I just can't play the keyboard like them. I couldn't pray for anybody like them. I couldn't speak like them. Stop, quit. I've written in the notes here, comparison is the fuel of shame. Comparison is the fuel of shame. We're always comparing ourselves with those far beyond where we are. Oh, I'm not like them, or I'm not like them, not as pretty as them, couldn't do that, not as talented as them. And all the time we're just, it's shame, but maybe you're never supposed to be like that. How many times have we looked at you having a unique destiny, a unique calling, a yoke that was custom made for you, a race that was custom made for you to run? So why would you want to compare yourself with anybody else? It reinforces this worthlessness. And many other areas. It can affirm what we believe about our own failings and our own defeats. That's why within the Christian walk, we're just so in, out, and check it all about. You know, schizophrenic about whether we're saints or we're sinners. By the comparison, oh, I'm not like them, and I've put them up on this pedestal. We'll take them down. Last time I checked, they were still human. I was blessed because my father was a minister. We lived through a revival. I grew up around the who's who of the 70s and 80s outpouring internationally and in our nation. It just baffles me that my father was known by so many people. You know, key international people. But and I'm like, oh my goodness. And I would start off like going, like, really about them. And then I just realised that they're all human. They all ate the same food I ate. They all went to the same church I went to. They all worshipped the same God I worshipped to. And so I kind of got really comfortable hanging around them. And I watched them watch videos, you know, comedy videos. I watched, you know, we've all eaten the same fish and chips back home. You know, and I'm like, these guys are just regular. And he's like, take them down. That's why I really like what I call the honest speakers, the ones that will just share their own battles and their own walks and what they've had to overcome. Because there's no mask of pretense that nothing has ever gone wrong. Even before I was a Christian. I was never into anything. I was this saint from the day I was conceived until now. Really? I'm surprised you needed Christ then. Oh, well, you know, maybe there was a little white light once. You understand? It's this. But the problem is that makes us feel ashamed because we know what we're like. Really? How many know what they're really like? God, look at this Singaporean thing again. How many? It's like, do these work? Could you just wave them? Just let me see. Oh, they're working. Okay, hands up, all of those. Now let's try again, shall we? Now I've even forgotten the question. It's yeah, hands up all those that know what they're really like. Oh, isn't it interesting? The pastors don't put their hands up. Okay, so this is for the pastors then. Let's deal with the shame. It's a simple, innocuous question. It wasn't like hands up all the sinners. I did that one and 75% of the school put their hands up. When I asked them a second time, nobody did. So this is why now there's fear in the room, isn't there? Nobody will put their hands up because they're frightened about what I say. Hands up all those that know what they really like. Cool. Because now you all know you're a new creation.
Yes.
Trapped again. By the time I leave, you'll have worked out my sense of humour. Really? Can I let you into a secret? God doesn't remember it. As far as the east is from the west.
That's right.
So why are you still feeling shame over something God doesn't remember? But you're not. You're a brand new creation. Pastor.
Amen.
Welcome to a plain speaking school where no one's saved. If the preacher's not saved, the pastor's not, alright? That's the reality. Are you seeing it? We live with the mask of shame about things we've done wrong.